Hi guys, welcome to Clive's Modelling channel, and today I'm going to turn this into this. So this into... Anyway, let's get started. So, try and do this the best way I can. I've got a lot of space again. Would have to be the wrong side as well of doing things, but anyway, get rid of the pitot tubes. Right. So just have a quick butcher to remind myself what's right. All these bits of crap on the bloody thing. There's some sort of sticker. Right, okay. Would have been easier to do the arse end, but I've got to paint that bit there first. So, and then it means dropping the paint. Right, now I use oil paint, so you've got like your greens, and then the four browns that I use, which is raw sienna, raw umber, burnt umber, and yellow oak. And then the greens are emerald green and sap green. And then there's also another two colours I use as well. One for the blacking is this one here, which I think is Payne's Grey, and Van Dyke Brown there as well, in the Rowney Artist oil colour. So they're the colours I'm going to be using. I was trying out this on something else the other day, the Umbra Wash. It's not bad actually. It's I wouldn't write it off, so you could use that. Right, so first of all, I'll get a couple of blobs put out on my little tray here. So there's a bit of Van Dyke Brown, a bit of Payne's Grey, and then the greens. So hopefully this one's open. Yeah. And the good thing about this is with this kind of weathering, if you do make a bit of a cock up, then you can sort it out. You just quite easily rub it all off. I'll use that because that's quite a colour for rust, that one. Don't need much of that. Can't really run out of this. This is good for hydraulic stains on aircraft as well, yellow oak. You can mix it in with a blend of colours. And then last but not least, raw umber. Right, here we go. So we'll get those out of the way because I don't need those for a bit. Put them over there. Those are the other ones. Right, just going to wipe the old gloves so they start smearing it everywhere. Right, then what you want next is kind of a half decent artist brush. This is number 10, but then I don't know what make the brush is because it just came in a set from a company called The Works. So basically all we do is you get your palette like this, and with this, and you got this is all terps. I know this isn't terps. This is just I'll put some terps in an Aztec thinners bottle, and you can just drop a bit on your brush, and then you can just spread it about like that, and then what you do is you just go over it, so like this, over all the rivet joints. Just put a pool of thing up there, so it's reasonably thin. So we go like that. we do is we just do the front end today. So basically just wash it on like this. So it gets in all the nooks and crannies, get it in those, what they are, blowholes or whatever, because they're dark anyway. Get it in those, and the 3 at the front. I've got a feeling that maybe I should have drilled those holes out, but I don't know, over the rivets. So basically we just give our riveted area a good wash of this black colour. Right, and then we'll go down to about here, and then get it in all those holes, because what you're going to do is you're going to wipe pretty much all of this off. So you go around that hole as well, fill it up, right. Get it in there. Right, so it's pretty much covered now. Well, we haven't done this bit because this bit's smooth. There's no rivets on there. Whether there is in, well, no, there isn't in real life, because if there was, I'm presuming that the company, the Revell, would have put them on. So anyway, that's the rivets side of things, and then we'll just give that a little bit of a dirty up around there as well. Right, so and that, right, that's it. That pretty much is it. That's exactly where we want to be with it. Right, then what we do then is get a piece of rag, and then kind of just dab it on there like that. And this all looks a mess to start off with, but and you can go over that bit as well, because like I say, you can basically wash most of this off. As a matter of fact, I'll go right up here with it, because you can pretty much dirty everything if you carry it on down the submarine. So it gives you that, basically that dirty old used effect. Yeah, so it sticks in places where, you know, where it should do. Come on, we're back here, about halfway. We'll go halfway down here, power it. Right, and then looks like you need a bit more doing over that side. And then you can see now, if I move this light over, you can see now how we're getting that dull background effect. So it's got a little bit of cotton cloth and shove in there. Right, there we go. So we've got that dull effect now. So then we can start going with like some sea browns, just mixing it up like this. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here, because I can't see the bloody camera. No, I'm down here now. I'm a bit too far down to fit it all in. But right, and then with the brush, just want to put some. Oh, jeez. That's it. And go over the rivets like that. So I'd already pre-painted this with the So it's just a matter of getting it and then rubbing it in once it's in. So I'd already pre-painted it in the actual background colour, so like the rust brown. Brush is a bit wet, needs to be a bit drier. Let's try and use some dark brown here. This is Van Dyke brown. This is just use, instead of thinning it down, just use it a bit neat on the brush and just brush it out slightly. And then what you can do is you can drag it away from this like this, yeah. And then dab it, and then smear it in. I have to paint this bit black in here. I'm going to have to do the whole lot of this because this is something that should be, I think it's like where the water floods out. So and then you get your bit of terps and just add a little bit of green to the brown just to make it a bit smeary over the top here. Let's put a bit more terps down on there. Make it a bit runny. Get it in there like that. Yeah. So there's no order to this. There's no, you know, right or wrong. It's just what it is. So get it all over the place. Get it in cracks. Sit right back. I'll have to go, I'll say right back. Let's do the whole lot down there. Right. And then along that line there. So you can see right now, we've got that dull looking background effect. So you can, you know, because obviously this thing's been seen. So where there's like a tide mark, or is the best way to really describe it, I suppose. And the tide mark will be around here, but you can't do the tide mark yet until last of all. So basically at the moment you're just getting this thing dirty. So it's like, you know, where it's had the rain hit it, and you know, and how it come down. This is why I say don't use a fantastic expensive brush. Just use a rough brush, so you can really, you know, knock the brush about in there. Like enough for oils replenish the airs on these things. So it's like, you know, a bit of a grooming session for the brush as well. So just make it all, you know, filthy all the way down to the back. Yeah. You can also use the same effect around the tower as well. You know, where the rain, you know, falls and drops. But get into that another day. It's the whole we're concentrating on at the moment. So yeah, over the top, then, you know, like that. Right. Then we do a couple of bits of green. So like where this is anything on. This is where the green. So like where you would get green collecting. So the algae would stick roughly around where the rivet marks are. So you can you know, and it'll be up round here, sort of saying. So you can just dab it on like that. It doesn't have to be, you know, all fitting, because obviously, you know, different stages in its process. And if you just go into the gap with it and then bring it out, and you know, the odd few spots over the tank here, because you know, and then roughly around where the water line is, there'll be like a dry bed of algae there, or whatever other green stuff it collects. And then you got the where around the rivets. So where you've got the rivets, just go down like that. I mean, this is a brush ain't nailed together. It's not the normal one I use. I can't find it, but you just like just lay it so you get the flat edge. Like I say, it don't have to be every set of rivets, but just go along every set of rivets, and whatever lands on the rivets, you know, that's what you're going to be getting. In round in the bowl where the anchor goes, there'll be another place, and then along this set of rivets along here, which is here, the studs. So you don't have to heavily paint it on either. You just, you know, lightly go about it, and then under there, if there's anything, and then you can just bring it down, and then again over that bit. Because don't forget, this thing's on a dry dock now, so everything that once was is now dried on it. So you go like that, and then up the front, and you can just dab it on round there and round the front, just creating any kind of a pattern really. Yeah. And then on top of the bow plane, you're just going to get something on there. There's a hair there. Yeah, so there. And then just use a bit of cloth to kind of feather it in. Because obviously it's dried in it, and where it's now been left on a dry dot. Hang on, I'm going to need a bit more green. The darker the green is where the stuff's just baked on. So yeah, you could really go kind of like green, brown, black, and then just waz it on in that section there, and then just, you know, powder it on like that. Powder it on. Paint it on. Because you're only looking for an effect really. And then just dab it over with a cotton cloth. That tissue I've got's a little bit rough for this really. It's tissue I used to have at work for mopping up small fuel spills on a desk rather than oil paints. But yeah, a bit of toilet roll, you know, soft tissue. You just dab it, and you know. Right, so where are we going with it now? So get some kind of rusty colour looking stuff going here. The other thing as well is really you do need a bit of paper or something to wipe the brush off on. I'll just dab my brush in the tissue, and then we can highlight a few rusty spots here. So it's not very bright, but get rid of a bit more of that. And then as you can see, you're just dabbing it on really with the edge of the brush. You're not using a full brush. You don't really use the full brush. I never use the full brush. And I'm not a master at this, and I'm not the god. This is just how I do it, and then I just try and get the best effect I can from it. So, you know, if you just dab it like that, it gives you that desired effect really. Get a bit more dry. There's another colour I'm mixing with this as well, but I haven't mixed in at the moment. I thought I'd just try it with these raw colours to start off with, but there is a really bright orange, and basically what it does is it brings out the rust, but this is proven to be bright enough at the moment. So basically oils take a while to dry. That's why it's taken so long for me to get around to doing this, because the oils take so long to dry. You have to leave them really for, I don't know, a few weeks. Even for a few weeks. See, now you can just go down. This is a dry brush. You just go down, and it'll give you that rusty look. Just over it. And you get some streaks there. So you're starting to get like the rust patterning effects, so like the staining. And then we'll go a bit more darker brown with some green. And then what you can do then is try and put some of this greeny brown algae along there, and then maybe a little and then dry brush over the top of this right here. Shouldn't speak with a brush in my mouth, but dry brush over the side here just to feather it off. But you can always, that's the good thing about Aussie. So like, you know, then all of a sudden like you get a load of brush marks here, but where you're feathering it off, this is all the background, so that when you come to put the, you know, the colours on and this lot's all running, you know, it's just how it works. So I'll get it to work anyway. So and with the dry brush, just going along, feathering everything out. So as you can see there, it's all starting to blend in. See, so you're getting like a mottled effect. It's blending in. No two sides are the same, just remember that. And no two weatherings are the same. This world does not copy anything. This world does what it wants, and if the weathering wants to go that way, the weathering will go that way. And that's why with weathering, it makes me laugh sometimes. I've heard many a story where guys have come along, especially on sci-fi models. It's just ridiculous. Oh, it don't look like that. How does it look? Do you know how it looks? Have you ever been out in space? Have you ever seen a real spacecraft that's come from planet Zorro to here? No, you haven't. So there you go. But down here, when they say that, like, oh no, that doesn't, you know, that doesn't look right. That doesn't work. That's not, you know, how it should look. Then okay, well, come on in, put your money where your mouth is. Let's see how you do it then. You know, and I'm ranting, ain't I? Christ, it's not about ranting. It's about weathering, Clive. So shut your mouth, get on with the weathering. Anyway, all part and parcel. You can see where we're going with this. So you just basically, you're just putting the brush in there and dabbing it on. So it's all different. Everything's got to be uneven. There's no, like I say, there's no two-way about it. There's no copying. It's no good. You can try and copy an effect on a picture, but it's not always. If you're trying to copy that on a picture, you're trying to copy the picture to the letter, then it's not going to work, because, you know, copying pictures is one thing and replicating what's in the picture again on your model is another thing. Best way to do it is, like I say, is how I'm doing it here. We're getting the effect that we want, whereas we're mixing it. I do apologise for the noise in the background. I've got 5 children, 4 of them are in the back garden on a trampoline, so you know, hopefully I'm coming across all right, and they're all out there arguing, bless them, or whatever they're doing. Right, so anyway, so now we're just going to come down. I won't go all the way down the back, because obviously my hand's got to go somewhere, and I won't be able to hold the model. So all where the welding marks are is where you want to really put this stuff. So like that, and then where there's lines, you can scrub it in like that, you know, and then we'll go for a bit of a lighter shade, and then we can, you know, dab it on again. Everything's, you know, uneven. No, you know, don't make it too. Because the other thing you can do is you can doing loads of lines and follow the, you know, and all of a sudden you'll get the end and you'll stand back and you think, bloody hell, it's bloody awful. You know, you thought, all right. But the good thing about, like I say, oils is you can dab, you can smudge, you can, you know, you can pretty much clean the whole lot. All I need at the moment is a drop of turps on that rag and go down there, that'll all be gone. So if you really feel like you've, you know, cocked up that much, then that's what you can do. You can do that. You can just literally just write the whole lot off again. And my God, she's got a big mouth. That's my second youngest child, my daughter. Oh God, that thing can shout. I just hope that she does a better job of being an adult than she does of being a kid. But yeah, there you go. So so that was my son coming in right at the wrong moment. So now we're doing, like I say, the water line is where everything's, you know, going to be, and then for the water line, you just want to dark things up a bit, because that's the bottom side of the line, of that weld line, would be slightly darker where it's kept in the shadows, and you know. Oh, that's the missus going to tell him to shut up. Oh dear. I tell you, homeschooling. Oh, I don't recommend it, especially with the amount of children I've got. She's giving it some, isn't she? Yeah, so basically, you know, you're mixing a multitude of colours, dark colours, under the weld line, all the way down the back, and then what we do is we go along, and then you can drag it down with the wrong brush. So you can drag it down with this brush, the dry brush, and just like the rain has tried to wash some of it away, but here we go, and that's how you're blending that in again. So hopefully this is coming off, and yeah, here we go. So it's not too bad. And not only that, it would be. I mean, I'm not a boatman by any means of the word, but things like this I practice on for weathering. I normally build aircraft. That's my main subject when it comes to modelling is aircraft. I do the odd few bits of armour here and there, but not much. Most of the time it's aircraft, and of course with aircraft they do weather different. So you don't normally get this kind of weathering on an aircraft unless you want to weather it like it's been in the wars and kept in the open air somewhere not very nice. Right, anyway, so here we go, and then we go up to the end here. I don't know whether any of, I presume there's going to be a percentage of you lot that have got kids. I'll just say that child of mine that's now shut up, we had snow here and it was minus, I don't know, 5 or 6. That kid was out in that garden on that trampoline in just a vest, and I said to her to come in and she wouldn't come in, and I thought, oh God, I'm going to have trouble getting her in now, and I did. She was out there for ages, but she never had a cold or anything. I went out there, I think I was out there for, I don't know, probably about 45 minutes, an hour. The next day I had the sniffles. I thought, oh no, that's all I need. Caught a cold. Hence the expression, catch a cold. Right, there we go. So now we've gotten all that, and then we can dab it. Right, all the way down to the back. Right, so there's our greens. So what we can do now is we'll mix some yellow and some greens, and we'll get a kind of a mustardy greeny colour. And again, we need to take some oil out of the brush, or some terps out of it anyway. So dab it on the tissue, and then we can, you know, put marks on the tank again. So like this time, getting like marks. See how I've left the brush in that state. I can do this with a sponge, but look at me on this mess of a desk I've got, right? And it's not a very big desk. And I wish I had my man cave. Oh God, I hope that where I move to, or wherever I end up, I can have a bit of a proper, because my man cave is going to be a studio, and it's kind of built, but it's not finished. So hopefully wherever I end up, I can get a proper studio built with some better lighting, and then I'll be able to show this off a lot better. So I'm going to do that, and then you can, and then the other thing you can do as well is up here. Obviously with this, you need to add a bit of green here, and you can add it along the water line there, in there where the anchor sits, and then just oh, she's up here now, crikey, we're all in trouble. And just dot it around. Then we'll go again with this, and again dab it, dab. That's all you're doing, just dabbing, painting and dabbing, and there it is, like that, and then the rag, the cloth, the cotton rag, like this, and then you know, just rubbing it down here like this, just to finish it off, and then there we go. So, and then in there, like that. Right, that's it. There we are, and that's weathering that. Now, the other thing we've got to do is just smear that in down there, my side of the bed, where it always is, and then just carry it on down here over the vents, and then so you just waste the brush all over the side there. And then we dab it like that. Same with on the top of the bow plane. Obviously, you know, there's a bit of green on that. There's a little bit more green on that side. And then, I don't know, did I put any? Yeah, there is some. So you could just like put patches of green, just little swirls of green here and there, down there. Use a bit of yellow as well. And just rub it in. Just paint that on there like that. Just give it an odd. Right, then again, this time you can drag the stuff down, right, and then over the bottom of the hole, and it just looks like staining, right, like that. Now for the rust, you really do need a kind of an orange colour, and the orange colour I had was this one. So we'll get him out again. What's this? This is orange red. So it's a pretty good colour for doing rust. And I don't need a lot of it either. And you can mix it with a brown. So if I get that brown there, and then again flatten it your tissue and just kind of rub most of it off. You want to get rid of most of that there. So, and then it's a case of, and then what we can do then is just go check the other side. Right now, most of the rust is around the rivets. Shit. Sorry, swearing there. Bloody brush. Why didn't it go flat? There we go. Here we go. Let's get it on the rivets. Oh man, it's dropped on the floor. You can go around that in there as well. Along the rivets at the bottom. This is for the brighter rusty bits. You can highlight them up. And then patches where it's gone really rusty, and like on the doors to the torpedoes. Those all quite rusty around these rivets, I should think. Although I don't know, might not have been. But either way. Right, then we've got that like that. So then we'll dab it all again to take the dampness off of it. And then put some more bright orange into that. And then again, you know, just streak it away from that. I'll get all this on there, yeah. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get this so that you lot can see it. and I can see what I'm doing, and everyone's happy. Streaking would come down now. Okay, another brush to it. I've had a sanding stick stuck to the end of that then, but never mind, it's gone now. And then what you do again, you can feather this out down there, so it blends in with the rest of it. God, my arm's aching. This is why I need a proper bench. Oh, I tell you, I'll be glad when it's all over and I'll get into my new place, and then my anxiety levels can calm down, my autisticness can go back to normality. I'll tell you, it's a straight autistic. I am an autistic modeler. What's autism? It's a disability. So I'll just pick my brushes up. It's a disability. And what it is just that the best way to describe it is probably most of you will pick up a model and build it from the instructions. As somebody like me doesn't. I pick up a model and I build it. That's all I do, I just build it. I don't follow any instructions. I might look at the instructions once in a while to see where something might go that I'm not sure of. But apart from that, that's literally about it. Also, we function different, which is why we might come across as a little bit odd. I mean, YouTube in some respects might be, our friend, due to the fact that, we don't like socialising, although in my younger days, crikey, yeah, I was out there socialising, but I didn't know I had it. I only found out I had it in 2018. I'm still really trying to work out exactly what it is. But basically it's just that you're clever at doing something in some areas than other people are. Problem solving, I always found that me problem solving it when I was at work, a lot of the time I'd say to my governor, what are you doing like this? It'd be a lot easier. And he'd say, no, it won't, because governors know better. And then all of a sudden he'd sneakily try, and lo and behold, it'd work in his favour. And then he'd get me in the office and he'd say, that was well thought out, Clive. Yeah, that was a good idea, that, wasn't it? And, oh, so you used it then? Oh, yeah. Two-faced bastard, but there you go. But yeah, like them all, innit? Everyone's a little bit like that in some respect, but yeah, that's literally how we kind of work is like that. So what we're going to do here is just going to put a tiny bit of rust on some of these weld marks. I don't want to put too much. You can dot it around the, because this you can blend in anyway, and then round the little holes here. And there's some big rivets there. And then again, what we do is we dab the things to this is basically to give it its background. Yeah, so you don't want to, where's the rag? Cotton rag. This is an old t-shirt. Normally I listen to a bit of music or some documentary while I'm doing all this, because it can become a bit of a brain drain after a while. I must admit, there's a documentary I'm really looking forward to watching. The mate put me into it the other day, posted it to me as a link, and I've just found it this morning and put it on my YouTube page so I can watch it. bit later on, but it's about an interview with, is it Joe Rogan, with Bob Lazar and Jeremy Corbell, about Bob Lazar's time at Area 51, if you like. Although he wasn't at Area 51, he was at a place called S4, which was not too far away from Area 51. It's all part of the same complex, because it's out there in the middle of the desert. But it's things like that quite interest me, because I've actually got one of those Bob Lazar testers UFOs. It's a kind of a thing where this thing's like shining silver, but not brilliantly shiny. You know, it's not mirror finished, or as bright as a mirror. So I'm trying to work out at the moment what be the best paint to use for it. But I'll come to the conclusion that I might be using the old Humbrol polished steel, where you used to paint it on and then rub it off. You'd buff it up so you'd get that kind of nice metallic look, and then go from there. But we'll have to wait and see what happens, because I haven't started yet. I've only done the alien, Derek I called him. Funny old thing, but there it is. Right, there we go. There's a bit of waste there, so you can and then just want to put a couple of dots of bright orange. Right, here we go, and then you can right. So that's that. I don't know how far we'll go near. All right, I can still see me. That's all right. Right, so there we go. So that's how she's looking at the moment. Yeah. So we kind of now. I mean, it's not far off of that, but we've basically got the basics on there, and then what we do now is we can clean this brush off with this bit of paper as best we can. Right, and then just need to do a bit of brown with a bit of black. Right, get it in the brush, and then again kind of oh god, running out of rag space here. And then again just basically rinse it off a bit in there, or wipe it off really, not rinse it because it's not running. And then what we do now is they've already highlighted is where the rivets are, but here you can kind of, you know, do the where the dirty dusty wash marks, and then dry brush it down. And then what we do is you're going to have to go along the top of that ridge, and then it goes down into there. So you can again drag it down. And then where's the cloth? Oh, where's that gone? There it is. It's trouble. I've got a big pile of green cloth here, and it all blends around. Now you can smidge that down like that. It kind of gives it that dragged down effect. Again, try and straighten the brush. trying to get this brush back to flat. Was a pain in the arse, I'll tell you. Just trying to see if I can get this brush flat, because what you want is you want to make some like little streak marks. Now you can use another way. There is another way of doing this, but for the moment we'll just carry on with this. I'll see if I can. So you can see now where it's just dropping off, like the dirty water stains. And then cool, won't it be great, eh, fellas, when it all goes back to normal? Be able to go to shows, you know. I mean, I'd love to go to some of the shows in America, but I haven't got the money, and I don't think I'll ever get to see that place again. I never saw it once, and the only bit I saw was Oceana Air Base. I mean, it wasn't a bad thing. I mean, I was there, but yeah, that's the only part of America I ever did see. There in Virginia. I can't remember, there was a place we it was an Air National Guard unit we saw there. Anyway, this is going on a boating channel, rather than just trying to think, like, you know, chit chat. Right, let's go. So we just lightly go over that like that. That's it. Superb. Take away the natural brush. Bit of fluff there. Well, that's doing it. It's not a very deep hole. But there you go. Take away the brush strokes there. Don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, yeah. It's a lot where the paintbrush, because the paintbrush wouldn't have painted this on. So just try and do it as a thing. And then what you can do then is you can get some kind of darker browny stains here. Where this stuff, hang on, if I try and flatten it. Now this is where you got to stick that in there, and then so, I mean, I don't know where this would have, you know, tipped out from, but like where you got water and stuff, and then it collects on that weld mark. So where, yeah, again, look, this would be a side a bit different. Plus, only that, I'm just showing you as well. If you wanted to do this for yourself, you could do it. You know, again, all the way along. It's just a case of this dirtiness followed by where it comes down and collects. So like, right, and then get your dry brush again, and then just drag it off the edge. So you're hitting there and you're dragging it down. So, oh, I can't do it, can I? So otherwise, if I could show you another camera angle, I would. Well, I can't because I've only got my mobile phone, so I'm doing this off. So yeah, and then again, you know, pull it down, pull the weathering down. Yeah, because don't forget this is dry, dirty old algae we're talking about. So, you know, algae don't always let things go. so it becomes a smudge. So yeah, and then the rain where it's poured on the side, where it's all gathered until it spills or whatever, and where it was dragged up out of the sea. I don't know. It's just a type of effect you're looking for. I mean, the only reference I can have to this, I've never seen a real U-boat, but the only reference I can have to this is where I've been down. The only place I know where there is a harbour that has boats out is Newhaven in Sussex, and basically where I've gone down there as a kid and, you know, as an adult, I've seen these boats, and some of them where they drag them out of the water. One side's completely filthy and the other side's quite clean, and you think to yourself, well, how come this is filthy and that's cleaning? And it's basically because this side has been up against the dock where it's all been slopping with diesel and crap that goes in the water, and that side has always been washed because of the passing boats. So, you know, you get your general, you know, idea of how things would look if this thing had been, you know, sat where it was. So I mean, you know, for a World War II boat, well, submarine, that's been left high and dry to rot, then I kind of, that's how I thought this. I'll try and get the look. So I've got it in my head rather than using reference material. I mean, just smoothing that off there. Now I just need to. God, why do kids fight? I don't know. Makes me laugh. I can hear the buggers down there squabbling with each other because one's got a biscuit and the other one hasn't, probably. Now you can do this with a thinner brush, and you can also do this with your wife's eyeliner. If she's got like an eyeliner pen or pencil, but you have to be a bit quick with eyeliner because it's got that quick drying agent in it, and the last thing you want is, I don't even know how you get the start. I think I've used terps before now for getting it off, but I haven't used it on this particular boat. I'll just say I'm not a boat man. I noticed there's I don't know, there is some modelling channels that started off as airplanes, and then we've already ended up on boats. I mean, Nigel's modelling channeled one. He's a bit of a master crafter. He is. He is now doing a U-boat, albeit a new Das Works one. I can't say that I'd be into buying that because, like I say, boats aren't really my thing. It was just at the time, I saw it at a show, and I thought to myself, right, I'll have that. It was only 25 quid, and that's how come I've ended up with this as a. But it's been knocked about, and like I say, I've had to replace parts. I've had to make new parts of copy of old. The cradle that goes around the back of the turret. I've since learned that Shapeways now do one, and it looks like I might have to go for that rather than try and. I've already had an attempt at trying to make one, and although it kind of looked the part in a funny sort of a way, it wasn't long before it got broken as the Shapeways one. I've since learnt that theirs is you can get two types. You can get a brass one, which is one I'm going to go for, or an ordinary whatever it is, resin 3D printed version. But let's just wires that off there a bit. Dirty it up around there. Right, there we go. So as we can see, let's just quickly go over that whole thing softly. I mean real softly with this, because obviously, like I say, you just want it all to blend in. Right, that's, oh, where'd that go? Oh, there it goes. Right, so that's it now. That's it all blending in well. Obviously, as we get further down here, you got your under there. You can literally put that as the dark black or brown, doesn't really matter. You can just literally wash that on there like that, or wash it, paint it on, yeah, because that's where the shadow is in there. And then you can dry brush it. Don't matter much of a fact that, does it? So give it a bit of a wipe with a rag. That takes the hard edge off of it. And then you can start adding a bit more. And just put a, whoop. Whoop. There we go. Just put a bit of brown in it and a bit of orange and get it to rust up, and then what you do is you try and get your fingers or your nails, which you can't rubber gloves, but you get in and just drag down from there, you know, because everything's going downwards once it's on the deck and it's out of water, because the rain will just pop in from the top. And it will come from the other underside, and it will go down. So you just do dab, 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 like that. And the other side. And then you can just, talking of rain, it's raining. And then just come straight over the top. The longer you spend on one spot, it curves round a bit more. So if you just, so you're coming from up here, yeah. So that's what you're doing. You're dragging it, and then you're dragging it down until it meets there. And like I say, there's the rest of it like that. So dab some more on. And then again, brush it down. So this is now where you're creating a bit of a tide line or a tide mark, because like I said, when they've been sat in the water, from what I've seen of boats, they get like a tide mark, go around them. So that's where you can create that. And then just mix a bit of green and brown together. I need to soak some terps up on that. God, it's a bit heavily sedated with terps. And then around where the tide mark is, just put your different level of paint. Like that. And then again, this is where you need like a bigger brush, really. So you can just have a look. This is a 1-inch brush, but I'm definitely not need that sticker in there. Is it? You put. Oh dear. It's probably kids. Bits of biscuit. Bits of biscuit in the brush. Right, anyway, so a 1-inch brush, doesn't have to be and you just, again, go from the top, dragging it down, like that. And then if you want to drag anything a little bit further, you can use the smaller brush. And then it kind of gives you that dried on grime look, which is what you're looking for. And then you can go out along here, because this would be roughly where the waterline would be, I suppose. And you could just wrong brush. There we go. So you're getting, you know, the weathered rain streaks coming down where it's draining away. I'm probably talking a lot of nonsense, but hopefully to some of you it's making sense. I know what I want to say in my head. This is another part of autism. You know what you want to say in your head, but it doesn't always come out right. It's I've been told it's quite a good thing to recognise where you're, you know, that you've got that unfortunate disability, but right, here we go. Put it along that line there as well. There you go. Right, and then that creates all the runs. And then again, you can just, you know, you can just do this for instance, and then just run that along there. Also, doing this, dabbing it with a cloth, it also helps the drying process as well, because I've found that sometimes it can take a bloody awful long time to dry this stuff. I mean, like I say, this has been sitting there for a few weeks, and you know, because I said I was going to do a tutorial video ages ago to someone, I can't remember who it was now. But some guys got the same boat, and I said I'll try and explain my best on how to do this. So I'm new to this YouTubing, and you know, not that clued up on. I mean, my editing skills are rubbish, because obviously what you see is what you get. So there's no editing. I don't know how to edit, other than add a title and add a description, and that's roughly about it. So here we go. Just drag it down, drag it down. It's, you know, a lot of the time it's whatever works for you, really, as a model, and what you want from your model. You know, never, how can I put this? Never judge your model with someone else's model, because you could do something better than they could. Just because, you know, they might have, people that make models, I should say most of us do it because we want to do it, you know, because it's something to do. And it's pleasing to the eye at the end of the day to have a nice little trophy sat there on your shelf. You know, I did that. That was what I did when I was, you know, like I can say that I did this submarine when I was in COVID. I don't do boats, but that's what I did. And yeah, it might be a case of that. But you know, when I sort of, you know, you go around shows, you know, you get the, what's it they call them, rivet counters and people like that, and you know, they're saying, oh, you know, this is wrong, that's wrong. You know, don't be put off by it. If they have got something genuine to saying it is wrong, you know, just say thanks very much and that's it, and let them move on. That's what I do. And then you can go and look it up on your phone, because everyone's got a bloody smartphone. But oh, and that's another thing, we end up going off subject a bit as well. So you can turn the sound off if you like, but it's just when I go into one, I kind of, I don't know, I get zoned out. But basically what it is you know, people of different levels will build a model and you'll think, oh yeah, wow, that's great, mine's a load of shit. Don't worry about that, because that person might have only made that one model that's that good. Yeah, and you know, never let people's skills put you down. Try and learn from it. The way I look at this modelling game a lot of the time is it's like the fisherman on the bank, and you're walking along, you say, how you doing, mate? Any good? And he says, nah, it's a load of rubbish. And so you move on. And really, he's got the best swim in the lake, or the best swim on that section of the river. And he's doing quite well, you know. It's just, sometimes, you know, people want to keep everything to themselves. And I think to myself, yes, everyone's trying to make a decent model. And they're not always in competition with you and your model or whatever you're doing. They're not in competition with it. They just want to learn how do you do that kind of thing. And if in the finish they want to go into a competition with their model, then so be it. So be it. Good luck to them. But help them, because it'll appreciate it more if you're helping people, you know, doing things like this, than not helping them. You know, this hobby is full of old gits like me, and there's nothing. I run a club here in England, and I've only got 4 members, and those 4 members are all around my age. They're all, I think there might be one that's slightly older, but he's not much older. We used to have one that was a lot older than me, but it's all old boys. And you think to yourself, you know, where have all the young uns gone? You know, was it just a case of, you know, when I was born, that, you know, all of the modelers that were created then, I mean, I dare say that they're all still around and they're all still modelling. I don't know, but you know, it's a dying hobby, and things are getting really expensive now as well, and it's just that's just becoming a joke. I don't know much about politics, but what I do know is that we're not in the EU, but it's not, from what I've heard, it's not doing us many favours at the moment. But you know what? I do have, you know, faith that this country will pull through, and you know, we'll resolve something, and yeah, it'll work out in the end. But yes, you see far too many people just give up at the first hurdle, and that's the disappointing bit about it when it comes to politics, is they oh, I don't know, I think I'm just talking rubbish now. So like I say, I'm not a politician or anything like that, and all I'm getting at is basically this, you know, this hobby needs some new blood into it, and why on earth the old blood won't help the new blood. A typical example, I'll give you an example of I've got a 1/24 scale Mosquito. That's a twin-engine fighter bomber of World War II, and it's made by Airfix, and I took it to a shop in London once many years ago, and there was a guy there, he's passed away now, bless him, a guy called Ted Taylor. he was probably renowned throughout the world building models for the Matchbox company and wherever else he did. I can't remember now. Anyway, he was in this shop, and I brought the Mosquito down, and he was looking at it, and basically he turned around to all of us that were standing there at the time, including the shop owner, that there was something missing from it. And so I said, "Oh, what was that then?" And he wouldn't tell. He wouldn't tell. And the shop owner, who'd known him longer than I had, said to him, "You know, come on. You know, I'm not going to think very, very highly of you if you you don't tell him what the problem is." And so he basically, in the end, did something that he probably was never going to do, which is he told me what was wrong. And basically, it was a band around the fuselage where the fuselage back joins the front, and this band was missing on the Airfix kit. And so what it was you had to add this band, this wooden band. Now that's the kind of thing I'm talking about, is where you get these old boys and they've got all the knowledge, but they're not willing to share anything. But then some years later after that, again I was at the shop and he was there, and I took another model in for him to look at, because that's what we used to do when I used to live near there. I don't live anywhere near there now. And he was there. Anyway, he pulled me out to the back office, and he told me something that I've never heard him say before, never even speak about. But I always used to say to him, because he used to belong to a club that I first started at, and I always used to say to him, it's a nice Corsair or whatever it was that you had sitting on a desk, Ted, but haven't you ever thought about putting a bit of weathering on it? Because they all weather, they're not all factory finished. And as much as he didn't want to, he turned around and told me that he couldn't weather. And he said, "I don't know how you do it." He said, "Weathering is an art form. It's something you've either got or you haven't got." And that was the first time I'd ever heard somebody say that to me. And he said, "You, my son, have got it." Now, I don't rate myself. And that was the first time that I'd ever been told that. And like I say, I'm not a master at this or anything. This is just how I do it and how I've come to do things over the years. So it's not the rule book, it's not the law, it's just how I do it. So I don't want any of you out there to take this the wrong way, but I am no master at this. This is just how I do things. And whether it works or it doesn't work, well, it's modelling. And you know what? The best bit about it is I've enjoyed doing it, which is what modelling's all about. It's enjoyment. It's not about who can do this, who can't do this. It's about enjoying yourself. You've got a kit, you've made it look good, you've enjoyed making it, and you've enjoyed painting it and everything else that goes with it. And that's what it's all about. It's not about, who can do better than who. It's just about enjoying the model and the time that takes you to build it and make it. And at the same time, you're enjoying your time at your bench, because probably like a lot of you, unlike me, I get quite a bit of time I can sit here and do this. Well, as a matter of fact, this is my autism. Everyone has a trait in autism, and it's whatever it is. and this is mine. So yeah, but yeah, I just enjoy doing it. I enjoy, you know, I enjoy the shows more, but I'm just waffling on now. Right, hopefully because I'm just talking rubbish. Hopefully it's just giving you a bit of an insight on how to do things. The way I do it anyway. Or it's just giving you another look at how someone else does something. That's the best way to put it, isn't it? Forget all the politics in the video, because it's just rubbish. We all start talking about crap because we don't know what else to talk about. So, yeah, but right, that's probably about it. Let's put some, not that brush, put this brush, right. I'm probably going to finish this video up here because it's like, what is it now? It's an hour and 21 minutes long, so I'm going to probably call it a day now. I've been rabbiting on for far too long. But hopefully I've given you an insight in, you know, what to do as a basic. Right, let's put a bit more dark brown on that one, and then just brush it off down there. We'll just darken it up under there, try and waste some of the brush on it. Not sure you're going to see that, but that'll do that. It's kind of like muddied it up a bit down there. Where it's been sitting. Right, then we'll just feather it out there. Spring is on its way. Hear the old starlings out there. Right, and then I'll just finish off here by putting a rather dark greeny brown line on there again. Jeez. Quickly over it. And then right. Okay. I think I'm going to call it a day because I'm going a bit blind there. But anyway, that gives you an idea. That's what we've done today. So we've done all of that, and then like I say, we've done some streaking down there that I haven't brushed off yet. Just put that along there, that. There you go. That's where the rain's lashed at it. We can just take the edge off it. Inside that there, it's be black and dented. There we are. Right, gents. I didn't realise how much time this has taken up. So, if you get to the end of this, and you've just watched and looked at how I've done it, like I say, that's that. That's how we've ended up with the algae and stuff. Then I'll leave this to dry now, and then I'll have to come back, and then I'll get the lighter green, and I'll show you how to put some light, like a bit of bright moss growth on it, or algae growth that's, and then we'll do the conning tower. I think that size, that side's done. This side didn't. I'll put the badge on as well. It's the only decal this ship has. Right then, fellas. That's me. Enjoy yourself modelling, and stay safe still, and hopefully this will all pass and we can get on with our lives once again. But for the time being, this is Clive saying happy modelling, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. See ya.